Welcome to myGSPN Live. You're here with your host, Robert Brown.
And Jose Rodriguez.
We've got a very exciting show for you, but before we get into it, we'd like to thank Garden Grocer for having us on the air. If you're in the Disney Resort area, go to gardengrocer.com, place an order for snacks, whatever food you need, drinks, and you can save time, money, energy, have everything delivered to you at your resort at the time of your arrival. We've got a little bit of baseball to talk about. Only one game was able to be played yesterday due to the weather. So we have Bishop Moore lost to Nature Coast in the. This is a regional semifinals game. So
it's an upset.
Yeah, a small one. Didn't expect Bishop Moore to lose this game, but Nature Coast will move on to the next round in the state semifinals or state final four.
Yeah.
Make it a little easier for you. But again, all those games we talked about yesterday, the day before, are still going to happen. Spruce Creek and Lake Mary, DP Boone, Timber Creek Osceola. We have Hagerty St. Cloud, St. Andrews Episcopal, Mount Dora Bible. We don't have a date for those games yet due to the weather, but they will update that, and as soon as we get the update, we'll let you know. Same situation with softball right now. We've had 3 games supposed to happen yesterday in 4A, 3A, and 2A districts. Trinity Christian versus Montverde, Rocky Bayou versus Cornerstone, and Auxilia Christian versus Masters. Those games are also postponed. But there is on the 18th, if weather permits, West Orange versus Timber Creek at 6:35, Western versus Coral Reef at 7:50, and then in 8A there's Oakleaf versus Lakewood Ranch at 4:05, and Hagerty versus Cooper City at 5:20. Again, that's if this tropical depression passes and weather's good. Those games will be at historic Dodger Town on May 18th. As we move on, we'd like to take our look around the country. We didn't do that yesterday because of Pro Wednesday, so we'd like to jump back into California. We have some baseball for you today, some top 5. So we'll jump into the home run stat leaders in California.
Now, start right off, we're going to go with Charlie Rocca. He's a senior from Verdugo Hills High School. And he's a shortstop and a third baseman. This guy has 13 home runs right now.
Leads the state right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. They play about 25 games, so that means he's hitting about 1 home run every half a game. So that's really good. Now, the second one on our list is Nathan Peng, also a senior from Saratoga High School, a catcher and a third baseman with 12, only 1 short shy of Mr. Roca right behind him. Number 3rd on our list is Darius Perry. He's a junior from La Mirada. He's a catcher, has 11. D'Artagnan Van Dussen, he's a senior from Lincoln. That's in the San Diego area. Congrats to him. He's tied for 4th and 5th with 10 home runs, depending if number 5th spot, Eamon Lentz, also a junior from Drake or San Anselmo in the California area, hits 1 or he hits 1 because they both have 10 right now. Now, moving right down to our batting average leaders, we're going to go to Bo Fick, senior from Pinewood or Los Altos Hills. He's an infielder and a pitcher, and he's batting 722.
That's crazy.
Yeah, these are video game numbers, so stay tuned. Now, the second one is Joseph Padilla, also a senior, and he's from Franklin in the LA area, and he's a shortstop and a catcher, also batting 712. Just 10 points short of Bo Fick.
That's a video game on rookie level too. That's
probably
insane.
Beginner.
Yeah.
On rookie level, you might hit 500, but not 700.
He's going 7 for 10. That's insane.
Yeah, it's really, again, video game numbers. Yeah. You said it perfectly.
Number 3, Nick Barrett, a senior. He's also right at 700 at 686. So there's a lot of good hitters. It looks like out in this California area.
Oh, yeah.
Not only from all these home runs they're putting up, but batting averages are super high.
Now, to put it into perspective, the last 2, which is 4 and 5, Hans Seal and Jackson Hahn, they're all batting 667. Put it in this way, out of 3 at bats, they're getting 2 hits. That's what 667 is. So imagine throughout the whole season, they're only missing 1 time if they get 3 at bats per game. That's really, really good. Now, if they're doing really, really good, imagine the top 3, which are already in the 700s. Now, these are more than video game numbers. Hopefully, we see these guys in the pro level and even collegiate level if they can put up numbers like this while in high school.
Yeah, if they are, especially the seniors. This whole entire list is actually seniors, so we'll see them next year. Hopefully, go to a big school. USC's, UCLA's. Probably keep it in the California area.
Oh, I think so. They're stingy with their talent.
Yeah. Some of them come out. Miami likes national championships. Florida State's coach is the all-time winningest coach. So
Yeah, Florida likes their talent too.
They do too. Let's move on to RBIs. Darius Perry, a junior. He's a catcher right now with 52 RBIs to lead the state. Also with 52, Han Seo, another senior from the Los Angeles area. He's a shortstop. Also has these 52 RBIs.
Yeah, he's also batting 67. He's our number 4 on the average list as well. And Darius Perry is our number 3 spot on the home run list as well. So not only is he killing it with the home runs, he's also killing it with the RBIs.
Yeah.
He's in top 5 rankings when it comes to different parts of the sport in the entire state. So that just tells you how much talent California has to give. Now, going into the next one, which is Jose Macias, a senior from Montebello. He plays the corners, first base and third base. He has 51 RBIs, just one short shy of the number 1 spot from Darius Perry.
He'll get that.
Yeah, I think so, easily. Now, D'Artagnan Van Dusen, again from Lincoln, San Diego, also has 49. And Miles Anderson, a junior from the Valley Academy of Arts and Sciences in Granite Hills, has 48. So, again, just one short of being in the 2 or 3 spot in this list.
Yeah. This shows that the talent is consistent throughout the state. It's 48 is 5th spot, and when I was looking at the list, at 6 and 7 were tied with 47 each. So it's 48 for 5th, 49, 51, 52, 52.
It's a really close race.
One good game from one of these guys, and they're back in first place in the driver's seat.
I agree 100%, especially these right here, because I feel like these are easier to collect than home runs or RBIs if you don't have that power or that presence in the lineup that you deserve. Right. Which is my favorite accolade in baseball, is the stolen bases. Now, the stolen base stat leaders from California, we're going to start with Jordan Flores. He's a senior from Granite Hills or Porterville, California. He's a shortstop and a pitcher, and this guy has 44 stolen bases. Now, I'm surprised none of them here have 50 yet, but I think they'll get it throughout the season. Now, Cameron Butler, being a freshman, which is the most impactful one here, I think, as a freshman, being only 2 shy from the number 1 spot, having 42 stolen bases in this year already. Now, the third one is E.J. Whitfield. He's a senior from Rolling Hills Prep, San Pedro, California. He has 40. So again, each stolen base here, you can just have 3-2 per game. So it's a close race,
And actually, not to cut you off, but Cameron Butler is the youngest guy on this list. He's the only freshman. And actually only sophomore out of all of our categories, so that tells you the future is high for this kid. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good, my man. You're good. Now, for the 4th one is again Mr. Van Dusen from San Diego. He has 39, and number 5, Will Batts, a senior from Berean Christian in Walnut Creek, California. He's also a right-handed pitcher and a second baseman with 39 stolen bases. Like I said earlier and previously, it's a close race between all the stats right here. So make sure you tune in, and we'll get you that updated when we do the look around the country again. Now, going out of that, we're going to go into the pitching, a different perspective of baseball. We're going to the strikeout leaders. Now, the number 1 is Hogan Weaver. He's a junior, and he's in San Juan, Citrus Heights. He's a pitcher with 116 strikeouts. And this one, I think, is personally closer than the stolen base stats or the home runs or even the RBIs, because you can rack up strikeouts like it's nothing in a game, especially if you're this dominant. Now, the second, which is Connor McCoy, also a junior from American Christian Academy, has 115.
The next 3 guys actually do at our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot.
Yeah. So, the number 5th spot, he has to work a little harder because he has 10 ahead of the other ones have 10 strikeouts ahead of him, and which is still not bad because he has 106. Yeah. These are major league numbers right now, so that's really, really good, and congrats and kudos to these kids for performing at such a nice and high level, even while they're still in high school.
A professional level in high school at that, so we'll stay in pitching, and our last category we would like to talk about is, what's really important and, getting those wins. So let's start off with number 1, Manny Garcia, a junior. The pitcher also plays a little infield, and he's 12-0 on the year.
Which is really good.
He's got his 12 wins and 12 starts, so that's 100%. That's can't do any better.
Yeah, that's better than consistency. And not only that, like I mentioned earlier, they play 20, 25 games in a year, and then if you go into the postseason or finals or regionals, you play an extra 10 games. So that's really good. That means that halfway through the season, this kid was 100% consistent.
Yes.
And that's exactly what a club needs. Let's say they lose the next 13 games, they're probably still in it just because of him.
They're at least 500
because of
their ace here. Let's move on to number 2, Ethan Rappaport, a senior from St. Vincent. He also is 100% on the year. He's got 11 wins, no losses.
Now the next two that follow, not to mean to cut you off, but the next two that follow are also 11-0. So that's also really exciting and really good because we're seeing a lot of consistency from their starting pitchers in these respective high schools, and that's what college coaches look at.
Definitely.
They look at consistency when you're in high school. They look at your speed, what are you going to bring to the table and what attributes you can work on in the future, but the main focus that scouts look at, it's consistency.
And those third and fourth spots are Joe Magrissi, a senior from Torrey Pines, and Travis Adams, a senior from Palm Desert. Now the fifth spot, Chance Palmer, another senior, he goes to Troy. He also has 11 wins. He hasn't been as consistent, staying off the loss column. He has 2 losses on the year. But these are the only guys in the state, 1 through 4, that actually, have started this many games and are undefeated. So
I would have given him the number 1 spot personally because he has had the most starts in this list.
Yeah.
And having the most starts, you're bound to maybe lose more games than the ones that have played.
I like Manny Garcia though. He's 1 start off with 13 or with 12. And Chance has 13, but my guy over here, he's undefeated with 12 wins. So
That's true. You gotta give credit where it's due.
Yeah,
I agree.
But we want to stay in California real quick and talk a little bit about recruiting. Aniko Aknowu, a center, class of 2019, is actually from a school, Chino Hills. A lot of people know about Chino Hills because the Ball brothers went there. He's their center. He's a 6'8", 205-pound center. He's the number 15 player in the country and the number 2 player in California. He recently committed to the University of Southern California. So congratulations.
That's South Carolina.
Yeah. Congratulations to him. He's over there, and that should be a great step. I know Lynn Swan is now their guy in charge of sports at USC, so he's getting new head coaches in, and I think under his direction, a Hall of Fame football player, he knows how to build an organization. USC, they'll get back on track, and not just football like they've done in the past, but basketball, baseball, everything.
Yeah, that's good. Collecting good talent all around the, and it's easier said than done. But the talent when you're trying to rebuild a program of athletics,
yes,
you have to pick out in your garden. You can't go around and going out shopping in other states when you got to look what's in your backyard.
It's probably easiest to get those kids, the guys that really want to go to that school. But
of course,
USC is such a big school. They've got such big, huge athletes that's gone on to play so many different sports that you got guys from Florida, from everywhere that's like, oh, USC, that's the school I want to go to. I grew up watching like Reggie Bush. He was winning Heisman's. Yeah, I want to go to USC. But sticking in basketball, another guy from California, Jordan Brown, another center, 6'10", 200-pound center. He is the number 31 player in the class of 2018, and he committed to go to Nevada. So, leaving home a little bit, but
it's not that far.
He's going to a great school. Actually, a correspondent of ours, Rick Coleman, did an article on myGSPN.com. So, if you have the opportunity, go check that out. We like to take this opportunity, just a quick commercial from our sponsor. So, we hope you enjoy. Welcome back. We had a very exciting championship game yesterday. It started while we were doing our show, so we want to give you the recap and let you know that Atletico Madrid defeated Marseille 3-0 to win the Europa League championship.
And their star, Antoine Griezmann, just came in really early and impacted the whole game.
Dominated.
Putting up 2 goals in the 21st and the 49th minute. Right after they just came out of halftime, taking that whole hope out of Marseille, trying to come back. And another goal was Gabi Fernandez at the 89th minute. So as soon as the game was about to end, he literally just came in with the dagger. And it's a little funny because, the French actually thought Marseille actually had a shot coming out of the second half. And with these 2 goals from Griezmann and Arenas, which is Gabi Fernandez as well, made him feel like, it's already over, game over.
Yeah, they took the spirit. They had a shot late in the second half to get a goal to make it competitive when it was still 2-0. It went off the crossbar and kind of, they knocked it away, but this game was pretty much wrapped up off jump. Griezmann hasn't had a great Europa League. He hasn't scored that much, hasn't really assisted that much, but when they needed him to step up in the big time, he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
And that's just a little preview of what's going to happen in the World Cup. This guy's really clutch. He knows when his team needs him. So, like every professional player, they're not perfect, but they're going to give you their 100% each and every time out there, because not only for the big check, but they have their city behind them. They have the fan base behind them, and they know what it feels like to have that pressure and to wield it into success.
And Atletico actually finishes the year second in La Liga, and Marseille, they finished fourth in the French league.
With that being said, that's another eye-opener, because a lot of people think, those that don't watch a lot of soccer, especially in La Liga, they would just say that it's a two-team race in La Liga with Real Madrid and Barcelona. But, Real Madrid wasn't even close to that, so Atletico Madrid took over, and if it wasn't for Barcelona being almost undefeated for the whole season, they most likely would have taken the Liga crown.
Definitely. Now, this is their third win in the past couple years. They won in 2010, 2012, and now in 2018. So congratulations to them and securing that spot in Champions League for next season. We'll stay in Europe, the Euro League basketball, which is different than the FIBA Champions League we talked about. This is the top basketball prize you can win in Europe.
Kind of like the Champions League.
The Champions League, there is a FIBA Basketball Champions League, but put that second place to the Euro League. This is where the Real Madrids and Barcelonas, AC Milan, the big name, Olympiacos, those teams play. And it's actually, we have the Final Four coming up. It's going to be in Belgrade on May 18th, which is on a Friday. Zalgiris Kaunas and Fenerbahce from Istanbul, they'll play at 6 p.m., which will be the first game. Fenerbahce actually won the championship last year. And then Real Madrid will take on CSK Moscow at 9 p.m. Just a little quick touch on these teams. Zalgiris Kaunas has Kevin Pangos. He played in America. Actually went to a very, very good college, a smaller school. The name of it is currently slipping, but he was a very good point guard, one of the best floor generals that we've seen in college in a very long time, actually. He's averaging 13.6 assists. For Fenerbahce, they've got two players, Brad Wanamaker, who was their superstar last year. He's back again, averaging 11.5 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and Jan Veasley averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds. And he actually made it to the first team All-Euro League. So,
good for him. That's a tough league to be in.
Oh, yeah. If you make that's a list that, not a lot of people make. So, we move on to CSK Moscow, the team who's probably have the biggest budget in Euro League every year. They get guys to go up to Moscow, and, they dominate majority of the year. They have the best record at 24-6. Nanda De Cologne averaged 17 points and 4 assists. He won MVP 2 years ago in this league. And Sergio Rodriguez, who, he bounced around the NBA for a while. He was on some different teams. He's back and had a very good season as their point guard, averaging 14 points and 5 assists. And the final team we have is Real Madrid. They'll be taking on Moscow. They're 19-11 on the year. They have a guard by the name of Luka Doncic. He averaged 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He was also first team All-Euro League. He's also the youngest player to ever be first team All-Euro League.
Didn't he declare to go into the draft this year?
He did. They have him projected, as we talked about last show, number 2. So, I think he should be number 1, but it's about, what that team needs.
Exactly.
And, so we will stay basketball.
And Phoenix doesn't need a point guard. They got Booker.
They got Booker to handle that guard situation. They need a big, and, DeAndre Eaton from Arizona. He's in the state. Bring him over, a couple hours and
why not? That's a
bring
great
some fans with it too. Yeah,
that's a great fan.
We'll stick in basketball and we'll talk about a game last night. The Warriors kind of got embarrassed a little bit by the Rockets. It was 105-127. KD did his thing. He had 38 points, 3 rebounds, but shockingly for a team that averages 30 assists on the year, he had no assists. A guy that he shared the ball. We didn't think he would do that coming from OKC, but he's a very unselfish player.
He was yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, they needed it because everyone else they didn't play. Steph Curry only had 16. He did have 7 assists and 7 rebounds. Clay had only 8 points. Draymond Green had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. When the rest of the team isn't playing, when they're not shooting that well, as you see, like Steph has 7 assists, Draymond has 6. that basically means we're not playing well. KD, you're hitting your shots.
Take it.
And we're gonna do nothing but get you open, and we'll work on getting you shots to keep us in the game. And he just couldn't do enough without their help. James Harden had 27 points, 10 rebounds. Chris Paul had 16 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Eric Gordon had 27 points. PJ Tucker had 22 points. It's a very similar situation to like we talked about yesterday with Boston. They had 6 people in double figures. LeBron only had 3 people, trying to work with him. Even if he had 40 points,
it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter. There's so many people getting so much help.
And not only that, but again, 4 people here with 20 points.
Yeah.
That's it makes it easier not only on the 6 man and on the bench, but on your superstars like Chris Paul and James Harden.
And especially when Steph Curry, Draymond, and Klay Thompson
only had
3
under
key
20
pieces to that big 4 out there. I don't expect them to shoot this way again, especially going back. Game 3 for that will be Sunday on the 20th at 8 p.m. They're back in Golden State for 2 games. I don't see them shooting that bad, these 2 players, especially Klay and Steph at home.
Yeah, I think the rim was malfunctioning
a little bit.
Houston.
Yeah. It should be 3-1 going into Game 5 back in Houston. Also, there will be Boston versus the Cavs. Game 3 will be Saturday on the 19th at 8:30. Boston's up 2-0 on that, and this Golden State series is tied 1-1. Any student athlete that would like to be featured on our show, please send us in any videos to videos@myGSPN.com.
Again, this show today was brought to you by GardenGrocer.com. Again, if you're coming from any place in the United States to the Orlando area, make sure to go to www.gardengrocer.com to place an order for you and your family to save money, time, and get any other groceries and snacks and beverages that you like while on vacation. There you go.
We thank you for tuning in. We encourage all student athletes to go to www.myGSPN.com, create a player profile page, and go to social media and follow us. Send us instant messages, whatever, so we can get interacting with you and kind of just get to know you guys a little better. We'll be back tomorrow for another show, so please tune in.
Thank
See
you
you there.
for tuning in.